Everyone associates language classes with grammar. Verb conjugation, spelling doesn't sound really fun, does it? Unfortunately, most students don't love grammar, but you can't speak a language without it. It requires a lot of repetition and memorizing words and phrases out of context, which can be very difficult and boring for students. It's a challenge to find a unique form of assessment that students actually enjoy. In this video, I will introduce an assessment idea that will make grammar lessons more entertaining. It will hopefully help students memorize difficult concepts better. It may be a little risky. It will require a little bit of work on the teacher's end, but I think it is worth trying. Dear teachers, instead of creating quizzes and tests yourself, get your students designing them for each other. Let's say each student gets to create a quiz and then take one made by a classmate. If the quiz is worth 10%, students will get 6% for designing 6 questions and 4 for taking a quiz. As an example, I will use French grammar concepts from Alberta Program of Study. Let's start with the grade 10 material. Questions can be very simple, such as multiple choice or fill-in-the-blank conjugation questions, or a little bit more complicated, like in a few short sentences, explain how you form passé composé. Depending on the level of students and the topic they're covering, you can determine the difficulty of the questions they're making. You can establish some guidelines, such as fill in the blanks only or multiple choice only, or let them run free, as long as they cover a particular topic with their questions. Let's say we study passé composé. Get students to design 6 questions in total. 2 could be about how passé composé is formed. In this case, they're true or false questions. 3 could be about specific examples, where students can practice the rules. And the last one could be up to them. For example, create your own sentence. It is a known fact that kids will memorize better by teaching, or in this case, creating questions themselves. I think creating quizzes will help students develop a variety of abilities. In addition to memorizing the rules better, it will help them improve their writing and critical thinking skills. It can be used as a formative assessment first, and if successful, as a summative later on. As a teacher, you can design some of the questions as a whole class with your students and include them in the final exam. Students will be less anxious because they will know what to expect. They will feel empowered because they actually help creating a test. It will work well for grammar as well as other concepts. For example, if grade 12 students have to describe their first interview in French in the form of a short essay, they can create a rubric together. It will be an excellent activity for a social studies class, where students will have to do research in order to create questions. They will be studying before they know it. I think this activity really helps create a student-centered learning environment. It helps students